As far as the cause of the fire, it's still under investigation through our fire marshal's office and also through the Florida Forest Service.
It was a busy weekend for fire departments. Liz Ryan spoke to St. Johns County Fire Rescue's Chris Naff.
Winds swept a fire over about 40 acres by Country Road 214 and Carter Road Saturday.
Our crews arrived on scene and found a working brush fire that was moving rapidly. It actually ended up jumping Carter Road and North Washington Street. Throughout the day, we had numerous houses that were endangered.
Multiple units were called in.
The St. Johns County Fire Rescue, the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, the City of St. Augustine Fire Department, as well as the Florida Forest Service, and Flagler Fire Rescue, which brought their helicopter up to provide air operations and water drop support to the guys on the ground.
St. Johns County Fire Rescue and the St. Augustine Fire Department met up again Sunday night. An e-bike exploded, setting fire to a second-floor apartment on Martin Luther King Avenue. Chris Naff says they're seeing a rise in e-bike and golf cart fires and offers these safety tips.
Always monitor them while they're charging. Keep them in a well-ventilated area while they're charging. And then when they're finished charging, to unplug them to make sure they're not overcharging the batteries, which actually causes the explosions and the overheating of the batteries. Another thing is to keep it out of the way of means of egress in and out of buildings so you can safely exit the building just in case something happens and it catches fire.
For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
Today is the last day to cast your ballot for the special election being held for Congressional District 6.
Voters head to the polls today in a special congressional election to replace Mike Waltz.
St. Johns County Supervisor of Elections Vicki Oak says voters in the southern part of the county will decide the District 6 race today.
We have 9 precincts open today from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for voting. It is very important. Voters must check their information, make sure they are eligible to vote before heading out to the polls. We have some tools available on our website at votesjc.gov, including an address lookup, where you can look up your address to confirm or see if you live in the district, and you can always call the office for assistance.
And in other news, there's a community meeting tonight from 5:30 to 6:30 in the multipurpose room of Pacetti Bay Middle School in St. Augustine to discuss plans for Pacetti Bay Neighborhood Park. The project is set to include 2 new playgrounds for different age groups, a pavilion, a basketball court, dog park, walking trails, and an open green space and expanded parking. County planners are looking for feedback from area residents. I'm Daryl Moody reporting.
The St. Johns County Commission meets today for a regularly scheduled meeting.
St. Johns County Public Affairs Director Wayne Larson has a look at today's meeting agenda.
We'll kick things off with a special proclamation recognizing April as Water Conservation Month, and actually we have a few items that deal with water and water conservation on the agenda, so the timing is perfect. Of course, we have our public comment that is moved to the front of the meeting, so that'll be shortly after the proclamation.
There are several other important items of interest, too.
One is a major presentation by our Growth Management Department on transportation planning. Staff will present a variety of information and facts and figures when it comes to the overview of transportation planning, including an extensive overview of roadway capacity planning and capital improvement projects that are currently going on to address transportation needs. And then another item that should be of interest to the entire community because it deals with public safety is we'll have funding requests and approval to do advanced purchases of fire trucks and other fire rescue apparatus for some upcoming new fire stations to be built in St. Johns County.
The meeting begins at 9 a.m. in the County Auditorium on San Sebastian View. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
And now you're up to date with St. Augustine's Local Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.